What is good, my people, my peeps? It's been a minute, and I'm just checking in to see how you guys are doing, how you guys are hanging in there as chosen ones and TIs, right? Goodness, it is bright out here in the sunny state of Texas. So I wanted to stop in really quick and chat with you all, and so I didn't put a title on this video. So this basically is going to be a quick chit chat, um, and it's going to be about what's going on, over there in Hawaii. As target individuals and as chosen ones, we know what's up, right? And if you don't know, um, you know, Hawaii was hit with a blaze. It went up a blaze, okay, a fire, and it was a certain part of Maui. I can't remember the exact name, but yeah. So it went up, and so many people lost lives, lost their homes, lost pretty much everything, right? And I wanted to do a video on that because there's something odd about what took place in Hawaii, and most of us as target individuals, most of us as chosen ones, but most likely targeted individuals who are chosen, right? We know what went down in Hawaii. Directed energy weapons, right? Can anybody say hello, Mr. Brooks? What's good? Can anybody say directed energy weapons? There is so much evidence regarding the fire, how it only hit homes. There's trees still standing. And it takes me back to when California had I want to say in 2021 when they had that big fire. I mean, they always have fires, right? It's like a certain time of the year when it's the hottest. They always have these fires. But it was one particular time in Hawaii where certain homes were hit. Trees were still standing, right? And we have been forewarning basically the world because there's target individuals all over the world, who have been telling and trying to wake up the masses that are still asleep regarding directed energy weapons. I mean, this can be, it's like turning a dial, right? You can get hit in your homes, or you can be, or they can take out entire towns. Well, we just seen what happened in Hawaii, and so I'm going to drop a video probably later today or tomorrow, so that you guys can actually see some of the evidence of why I'm saying, along with a lot of other people are saying that this was a directed energy weapon, because some of the trees and all of this is still standing. Also, Hawaii, they, the elites, they've been wanting this land to take over Hawaii, okay? And so some high, how do I want to say? Some big ballers want this particular land in Hawaii. So they are saying that there's some kind of conspiracy between the real estate that was hit with the fire and these big money folks, okay, the people with these dollar bills have conspired to wipe out this community in Hawaii. And some people who are still asleep, just they can't wrap their heads around this being a directed energy weapon. Um, some people think it's the sun, but like I believe it was in I did a video a couple of months back, Rio de Janeiro, I think, somewhere along those, somewhere over there in a tropical city. They did another directed energy weapon, and it showed the actual beam hitting down into and it targeted one particular building. Well, I have gotten some videos together. Like I said, I'm going to put it all together so you can see where they've seen the beam come down to start the fires. Um, and then, guys, let me tell you something. I hope that you are aware of what is going on in that. We are definitely in the last days, right? That wickedness is abound. People are wicked, okay? They do not care about you or your family. And so you have to be on point when it comes to knowing what is happening in your community. Another video came out to where there was a man who was escaping the fire in Hawaii, and he was walking on foot, and they put a barricade up, guys. They purposely, allegedly, let me say, um, they allegedly took out people. And for us as chosen ones, us as targeted individuals, that is no shock at all. You know, that is not a shock that they would take people out on purpose. So they put up this barrier in Maui, and people died from the flames. Okay, people died because they couldn't escape. And so the older gentleman asked a police officer, "Why aren't you letting these people through?" And the police officer said, "Because he has orders." Okay, because he has orders. So these people perished. It was like the ultimate setup. Okay, they had the children were not in school that day, and some parents were not at home. They were at work while their children were at school, and the children did. Uh oh. Hold on, y'all. I hit that quarter hard. Hold on. Let me sit y'all back up here. Woo. Okay. So the children were. The school was out the day of the fire. Okay, and so a lot of children were at home, and they didn't make it out because they didn't know how to escape. I mean, the blaze was so intense that a lot of children lost their lives too. And so people are like, they purposely had school to be out. Um, it's so horrendous to think how devilish um, our government and society has become. You know, and it makes me as a targeted individual, as a chosen one, say to myself and think, they have. I'm sure people are gang stalked and are were in Maui where this fire took place, and I wonder if these gang stalkers, if these perps realize that they don't get saved. This atrocity is coming from principalities of spirits in high places making moves, making decisions, and evil decisions. And these people that are gang stalking, who are taking part in your harassment and my harassment, do they think that they are going to be, taken care of and protected? I want you, if you're a perp peeping in, if you're a hater that's watching just to hate, you really should reconsider your your stance in life, where you're going in life, what the little life span that we have here, in this realm, in this training ground. You should really consider what you're doing if you haven't become a reprobate or if you're not a bot, a total bot, right? Because these people do not care about you, and you're out here causing mayhem amongst community and people in the community, And just like I'm sure I would, I could put money on it. And I'm not a gambler, but I could put money that there were perps, gang stalkers in Maui where these fires took place. They didn't make it out. The fires were so intense, the people started jumping into the ocean. Just imagine those two choices you have. You have the fire on one side and a rocky, roaring ocean that you have to jump literally off of a cliff into the ocean. And just because you jumped into the ocean, ooh, the sun is bright. That doesn't mean that you made it out. That doesn't mean you survived. We are definitely, you know, in the last days. That little bitty paycheck or whatever your incentives are that you get, it it pales in comparison to the rest of your life and how you're going to spend in eternity. It pales in, I look at these people and they feel that they're protected somehow in some way from these, or I guess because they're in these organizations, right? They feel that they're protected. Hold on, y'all. I'll finish this. My quick little rant. So, you gang stalkers, you feel that you may be protected in some sort of way because you're part of an organization, because you're part of this criminal acts that you're doing on you, citizens, people. Let me get out the car. Let me sit on the porch. I'm going in for a minute because I got something to say to you guys. So give me a minute. Get situated here. It just it boggles my mind, really, sometimes when I think about how some people think that they're good to go, that they are good to go. Like, take y'all down real quick. Take y'all down. I'm sitting on the porch real quick. I don't pop in here that often. While I take y'all on the porch out of the sun, I can cool off. I might just show you the videos here instead of having to do a full video because that takes up a lot of time too. Let me put y'all on the stick, the selfie stick, real quick, because you guys know how I am. If you don't, welcome to my platform, because I do have some new members here. Hold on 1 minute. 1 minute. So guys, you know what? That's what I think. That's what I'm gonna do is go get my other
iPad phone for 1 moment. All right, let's get into this. This is an impromptu video, which I plan to have made a video, guys, regarding the incident in Hawaii. And if you haven't saw, which you should have heard by now, of the fires that have devastated Hawaii, Maui. I can't remember the exact name. So what I'm gonna do, we're just gonna do it right here, okay? So then I don't have to make the full video. All right. Because hopefully I'll reach somebody. Even if you're a gang stalker, get out while you can. If you still have the sense to understand, the organization, they not backing you. They using you. Okay? They're using you. So let me get to TikTok real quick. We're gonna pull up some of the videos that I saved regarding Hawaii, and why people think that there has been a directed energy weapon that was used. Hold on for a minute. So, let me sit y'all up this way. Turn you around this way. Okay. So y'all give me a minute, cause y'all know. Okay, so I want to show you the devastation first. Okay. Okay, so that's the devastation of the fires that took place. Okay, and the damage and I'm gonna spell this out because I do not know how to pronounce this. It's Lahaina, I believe, Lahaina on Maui. Okay, and this was like one of the oldest um, and one of the most prestigious pieces of land that they have wiped out. And so that's where this devastation took place, guys. I want to get to show you the fire itself as it was going down. Damn, this shit is all fucked. Oh, wait a minute, because fire's been everywhere. Fire's been everywhere. We even had fires in Houston, and that's another story for another day. But let me see. In some of the videos, you know how social media does. They'll hurry up and take videos down. I hope I have the one where the man was talking about. I probably didn't save it. Got to be more careful. How they felt that they were trapped. Hold on. So that's why I say you gang stalkers, it's not worth it. Because they're going to set fire and everybody that they want to take out, they're going to take out. Really, they are. It's not worth it. Yeah, the majority of my videos I wanted to show you guys is gone. So hold on, let me see if I can pull it up by just doing a search on here. Dang. Let's do a search real quick. Um,
Supposed to believe that them 7 days just repeat themselves, but how? Because when you
no, no,
get money and you spend that money, that
the fires in Maui. Okay, so let me show you. I hope this doesn't have, some of this might have music on it, so I might have to cut it short. Okay, guys. But I'm so mad because the one I had it showed you from, you know how different people have different vantage points. It showed you a direct energy weapon, a beam hitting down, starting these fires. Okay, so let's look at this one. I mean, that looked like hell. That looked like pure hell right here. You know? I mean, who would know how to get out of that? Let alone children, right? Let alone children trying to escape that. So you either had this fire ablazing or the ocean to jump into. And like I said, a lot of people didn't even make it from the ocean. So with that massive fire, perps, gang stalkers. Do you think they're saving you? Do you think that the perps and the gang stalkers that were in Lahaina, Maui, do you think that they had a separate plane for them? No, they used these people and let them do their dirt and gang stalk and harass people, spy on people, go in people's homes, do their devilish deeds to these people. And they sent a direct energy weapon and wiped out gang stalkers and innocent people alike. You are not on the level of the wickedness that you serve. You are not on that level. You are a pawn in the game of this chess, if you will, that is being played. You have no, and I don't know why I even feel compelled to speak to you, perps, because my life has been, turned upside down since I've been awakened to this gang stalking, right? Um, but I still feel compelled to let you know, if you still have if you still have compassion, right? If you still have compassion, um, if you still are able to think, if you haven't been taken over, um, time is running out. So I would hope that you would make the best decision and stop your heinousness. You know, it may actually save you and your family's life, if you're a perp, if you're a handler. Um, that's just my PSA for you all, because trust and believe, there were perps and handlers in Hawaii, Lahaina, Hawaii, and they're gone. Okay, that island has been devastated. Um, and allegedly, from like I said earlier, what I heard was that it's because they want the land, the higher ups, and there has been, I mean, plenty of people's names have been thrown out there, even Oprah's name. was thrown out and amongst the circulation of people who have invested in that particular land because they want to build it up and make more resorts there. You even hear Hawaiians that are so upset, the native people that are so upset because when I believe it wasn't even 2 or 3 days later when they allowed the family members to go back in and see the devastation and see if there was anything that they could salvage. They were letting in the tourists to go swim in the beaches and the oceans where dead bodies were still floating around. If I'm lying, I'm flying, y'all. Let me see if I can pull that up. Now, how sick is that? Even, and this is what also makes me think that this was a directed energy weapon, because how hot the flames were, that it melted cars instantly. Like, hold on, like they were put into an incinerator, and there wasn't that many trees to cause that much heat. So let's look at this. Hold on, look at this. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, look at the pier, the boats. Come on, y'all. Targeted individuals. We know what's up. Whoever, even if you're not a targeted individual, you may never have heard of targeted individuals. Well, there are plenty of us out here, targeted individuals, and there's some that are chosen, people of the Most High God, that have been warning and forewarning you guys that these type of weapons exist. Wake up. And I try to, like I was saying earlier, try to forewarn you as gang stalkers, thinking that you're part of some elite organization. And even if you don't think that you're part of an elite organization, if you think that it's just a paycheck, it's just something to bring home the bacon, you're going to perish. These people do not care about you. You should change your ways and do it fast. There is something coming to the Americas soon. They always have to have some type of devastation, and it's going to keep escalating and escalating until they can say, or until you as perps and just sheepos wake up and start screaming, oh God, well, we need the government, help us, help us, help us, because they must cause chaos, right? They must cause chaos to the ultimate degree, to where you're going to be begging them to come save you. You know how you may hear people who don't believe in the Most High God say, there's nobody to come save you. Save yourself. Well, see, the powers that be are causing so much chaos that you're going to be looking for a savior. But they want you to look for that savior within the government, within the people who were causing the chaos. Okay? Let me show you another video. Before I move on, because I want to show you there's something big coming to the Americas soon. Okay? Look at this. This is sad right here.
This is a disaster.
Families.
Water is still working. Let's close your eyes. Okay, go in the water.
I don't even. Just imagine you're on a cliff clutching your babies, and there's fire behind you, and you have to tell your children to get into the ocean, knowing that depending on how big, how large your family is, there's going to be a fatality because you cannot hold up all of your children, let alone yourself. I'm talking about the ocean. If you have never been to the ocean, and trust me, I've been to the ocean twice in my life. It's a majestic um, place, okay? Just the waves alone are so strong, even if you're on a beach. So just imagine the waves coming in when you're on the cleft of a rock, where the water is coming up and engulfing and going back out, these tidal waves coming in and washing out. And those are your choices that you have to make with your family, right? Just imagine the thought process of a mother, of a father, knowing that they may potentially lose their life and their children's life. And you should think about that as well if you are a perp, a gang stalker. If you have any compassion for your own family, trouble is coming and they are not going to care about you running around here and doing the devilment that you have been doing. Because they definitely didn't care about the little pawns that they had running around Lahaina doing their devilments, okay? So, let me go to a video that I had saved. And I was going to... That hold on. I don't... Oh, hold on. Okay, so... I have been telling you guys about EMPs and solar flares and being prepared. I even have a video where the lights went out, but that was not an EMP, that wasn't a solar flare. But I believe it, from the heat of the weather we've been receiving, it's been affecting everything, the grid, right? And so I'm going to show you this video. And probably I'm going to screenshot the list that is in this video to show you guys that something big is coming to America. The chaos has to build. If you hadn't heard, there's another new strain of the COVID, okay? And why is there another new strain, you might ask, in August? Because we're getting ready to go into wintertime. They know they can't pump up a virus during the heat because the heat kills viruses, right? So that's why it tickles me when I see sheeples walking around here with masks on their face in 100 and doggone damn near 10-degree weather when viruses can't even sustain themselves in this heat. But you still see sheeples with masks on their face suffocate themselves, making their lungs weaker because they're breathing in their carbon monoxide that they're supposed to be breathing out. Don't get me on a tangent with that. But anyway, so that's getting ready to come around the corner, okay? This new strand of COVID, because we're getting ready to go into the winter months. But not only that, this video I'm going to show you is basically about a list that military families received because something's getting ready to come down the pike around these cities. And I told you guys, get out of the city. Pennsylvania, PA, New York. Remember how the bridge just collapsed? That big old, they say, what was it, a explosion under the bridge just a few months ago? Well, this took place, I believe, on a military installation in PA.
Messaged me with urgency about this disaster supply kit checklist. Her husband was sent this because he is of the military family and from the Northeast Pennsylvania area, close to Philadelphia. People in that area, if you're from the military, please, if you can confirm this, get back to me and see if there's others like you in the PA area. So please like, share, and comment so this video can get circulating. But we're going to talk about it. Hey, I'm Megan, and I follow you on TikTok. I'm gonna blur her name because of anonymity, and I think she'll want me to do that. This is the checklist they sent us out of nowhere. Some people may say, oh, they send that randomly, but no, they fucking don't. My husband has been in 25 years and never has gotten anything like this. They also briefed them on where to meet if an outage happens. If an outage happens. That's all he really could tell me. He can't talk about his job with me a lot. He has top security clearance, but he's been stocking up on water, food, and bought a crank radio the other day, and that's very out of the ordinary for him. I feel something bad is coming, and I just wanted to try to stay prepared. Want to share so others can know. I don't think this is a drill this time. And I said, thank you, and under that, she says,
Guys, a lot of fatalities when you think about it. When it's easy for you to depopulate an area, if you think back, it seems like it's during the winter times, right? When I think back when it froze, okay? And I'm gonna get to your comments, guys. When I think back, and I'm here in Texas, okay? When I think about the year that it froze, what was that, 2021? When all of Texas froze, they knew what was going on. They knew what was getting ready to come down the pipe, right? A lot of fatalities happen when it's cold, because if you're injured in the cold, it's easier for you to succumb to what is it called? You can, somebody help me out. My goodness, oh, I can't think of the name of it. Oh, it'll come to me. It's easier to succumb, right? Because first of all, your immune system might be down. You're outside in the elements, or you may not be outside in the elements. Hell, you might be in your home, because remember, and if you don't know anything about when Texas froze over, hypothermia. Thank you. Hypothermia. There you go. And a lot of people don't know how to even battle hypothermia. Don't even know the signs of hypothermia. You know, they would think, oh, you know, it's cold. Let me pile on, you know, all of this clothing, and then start sweating, and then get colder. It's a lot. So this, let me see what date this was. This was 4 days ago that this young man, I'm gonna just call him a young man, he looks like possibly a young man, made this video about Pennsylvania, a Army wife that lives in Pennsylvania, right? And her husband was sent a list, a checklist. Get this, do this, do this. Now, if you remember, when I showed you guys several months ago, when they did a exercise on this military base over here, when they shut down all the power for 12 hours. First of all, they already know a lot of you guys are not going to run.
Did you know that Harrison Ford at 30 was...
Hold on. A lot of you guys are not going to run and go get another any more jabs, because quiet as it's kept, people are falling, they're falling out. They're going to the upper room because of those jabs, right? So people are not going to be lining up to go get another jab just because you said there's a new strain. They're wising up, right? They're going to put a double whammy out here, guys. They're about to put a double whammy out here on the Americas. So I hope that you are just paying attention, being alert, and actually knowing what to do just in case something comes down the pike, okay? And like I'm saying, and like I've been saying, you perps, you might need to wise up. That money is not worth your the rest of your eternity. It just really is not. Hold on. Let me read some of y'all comments. Y'all know I ain't got my glasses on. Oh, thank you. Bless you too. You're in Pennsylvania, Fred? Just outside. Well, since you've seen that, there it is, Linda. It doesn't matter. Half the people that live around me are perps, gang stalkers, right? They already know where you stay. They know when you come and when you go, right? It doesn't do anything to hide. It's a lot of A's around here, B's, C's, and D's. But I like your comment. You saw me too. I was like, but if you watched any of my videos, that's been shown plenty of times. But very observant. So yeah, guys, y'all be prepared, because there are some things that are coming down the line in Pennsylvania. It's something about PA and the New York area. That they're going to do there's going to be some devastation. I watched the other night, a couple of nights ago, I watched The Day After Tomorrow. Was it The Day After Tomorrow? Hold on for a second. I think it was The Day After Tomorrow on Hulu. And The Day After Tomorrow, was it The Day After Tomorrow? When they showed all those tragedies. Let me see if I can pull it up. We're gonna see have a quick reminder for you guys, because they put everything in the movies. What is that? Philly is the first everything. Oh, really? Is it? Okay. Hold on. Okay, yes, The Day After Tomorrow. Let's see. Do y'all remember that movie, The Day After Tomorrow? Let's see. What's in this movie happened? Because in this movie, Texas froze over, right? But something else in this movie, the next big thing, I'm going to hit play. So this video might not stay up, you know. Let's see. Let's see what happened to New York and Philly. Okay.
Just a few weeks ago, I monitored a story.
Oh, this. Remember, I keep telling you, I watch the animals, see how the animals.
Half the platforms are flooded and service has been suspended on all trains. With planes still grounded and trains now out of service, that's bad news for the...
Okay. Y'all remember that part? Hold on, let me get back to it. Let's see if I can get it.
Accessible.
I can't see if y'all see it or not. Can y'all see?
Hey,
Hold on.
that dog can't come in here.
Let me fast forward it. Y'all see this?
A wall of water coming towards New York City. Everybody.
Hold on. Okay? That's what they're predicting next is to happen. Something big is going to happen in New York, PA. They've already told you guys that New York is sinking, right? I'm gonna see if I can get to the part where they talked about Texas before Texas froze. Let me see. Let me see. What'd you say? Yes. Hold on for a minute.
Perhaps you should keep that in mind before making sensationalist claims.
Well, the last chunk of ice that broke off was about the size of the state of Rhode Island. Some people might call that pretty sensational.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And if you hadn't heard, I have to go back to TikTok. That a cliff. He just talked about a chunk of ice, an iceberg, broke off the size of Rhode Island, right? Well, guess what, guys? That just happened recently. Hold on, I gotta go back to TikTok. If you're not on my TikTok, you need to get over there. It's ethereal, okay? Let me see. Because I don't post everything on, this platform. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay, so in the movie, you saw, you heard him say an iceberg broke off. So recently,
This giant iceberg just showed up in Canada. The iceberg is estimated to be as large as London. Off the coast of Newfoundland, it was washed up overnight. It seems to have detached from a bigger iceberg near Greenland in the ocean and has been drifting freely ever since. but no one knows exactly where it comes from. A huge iceberg floats in the iceberg alley where the Titanic sank. This giant
Yeah.
iceberg just
So you just heard the man on the movie Predictive Programming say a huge iceberg broke off, right? We just heard him say that on this movie. I mean, let's go back. Let's, if you didn't hear. Now, the iceberg that broke off, that was just recently, y'all. This was in a movie. Let's listen up. Okay. Oh gosh, I went too far.
What we have found locked in these ice cores is evidence of a cataclysmic climate shift which occurred around 10,000 years ago. The concentration of these natural greenhouse gases in the ice cores indicates that runaway warming pushed the planet into an ice age which lasted 2 centuries.
I'm confused. I thought you were talking about global warming, not an ice age.
Yes, it is a paradox, but global warming can trigger a cooling trend. Let me explain. The northern hemisphere owes its temperate climate to the North Atlantic current. Heat from the sun arrives at the equator and is carried north by the ocean. But global warming is melting the polar ice caps and disrupting this flow. Eventually, it will shut down. And when that occurs, there goes our warm climate.
Excuse me, when do you think this could happen, Professor? When?
I don't know. Maybe in 100 years, maybe in 1,000. But what I do know is that if we do not act soon, it is our children and our grandchildren who will have to pay the price.
And who's going to pay the price of the Kyoto Accord? It will cost the world's economy hundreds of billions of dollars.
With all due respect, Mr. Vice President, the cost of doing nothing could be even higher. Our climate is fragile. At the rate we're burning fossil fuels and polluting the environment, the ice caps will soon disappear.
Professor Hall, our economy is every bit as fragile as the environment. Perhaps you should keep that in mind before making sensationalist claims.
Well, the last chunk of ice that broke off was about the size of the state of Rhode Island.
There it
Some
is.
people might call that pretty sensational.
There it is. Predictive programming. Predictive programming. Okay? So you heard him say there was an iceberg that broke off. Recently, there was an iceberg that broke off in Canada. It floated to Canada, y'all. Predictive programming. I want to see if I can get the Texas part. Okay, so there's a man, he's trying to warn everybody, look, this is coming. Just like a lot of us as TIs are trying to warn you guys, look, it's not going to be an ice age this time, guys. The planet is heating up, okay? So there's not, I'm sorry how I'm talking because I got a big chunk of gum in my mouth. But there is, the planet is heating up because there is a polar shift happening, okay? When I say that there are end time signs, that's not the world is going to end. The world is changing. There is a polar shift occurring because the planet is going to get hotter, not colder. We've already had the ice age. You see, they had to put some misnomers in the movie to maybe confuse the ones that are not confuse the ones that are awake, but just to entertain the ones that are still sleeping, okay? It's not going to be an ice age this time, guys. The planet is warming up. And I've told you guys that time and time again with the let me not say Nubaru, because some of you guys can't, that doesn't rock well with you all, right? The red Kachina and the blue Kachina that are in the skies right now. The red Kachina has shown up, which some of you guys may know as Nubaru. The red Kachina is warming up this planet. So it's going to be a reversal, more tropical, Okay? Let me see if this movie, The Day After Tomorrow, watch it if you haven't watched it. Predictive programming at its finest. But it's almost a checklist of what's going on right now. Okay? Hold on. Let me see if I can get to Texas. Oh, and another thing that I had seen, and I thought it was interesting. There's a young lady who tells you about different real estate in different places, right? And England and let me think. I want to say in Italy, England, Italy, in parts of Europe, they're like giving away property. Like move over here for $1,000 and get these nice homes, or homes that are kind of dilapidated, but you can fix it up and stay there and live over here in Europe in these parts, and people are selling off. Half of England, the residents, the rich, the wealthy have left. They have vacated. Okay, but they're steadily trying to get other people who are not in the know to have their money and come over to England, populate these different European countries, while the elite, honey, have left. There's a reason why these people are fleeing the North. Okay, they're fleeing because they know the people who are in the know, you're wealthy, they're fleeing because they're either going underground or they're moving south. They're coming to Texas. They're coming to places where it's going to be warmer. Okay, so let's see if he mentions that in this movie. Let me see if I can get to it.
Everyone in the Order knew Anakin Skywalker. Few would live to see what he became.
Hold on, it's a commercial, y'all.
Clone Wars, I walked away from him and the Jedi.
It's a commercial. Let me turn it down.
In this war, you will face more than just droids. But your master
Hold on for a minute.
Prepare you. Don't be afraid. I know you can do this, Ahsoka.
Y'all, it's a new Jedi.
Central to my identity. Once I started taking Nutrafol, I could visibly see my hair getting thicker.
We don't want to
It
hear
made
these
my hair
commercials.
stronger, and the breakage is less.
We do not want to hear these commercials. There's a new Jedi. I'm gonna have to check that out because they was talking about a war coming, which we already know the war is here. I don't like Hulu because I don't like all these commercials when I'm watching a movie. Okay, look at this. Commercials when you're watching a movie. That don't make no sense. But anyway, we'll get through it. We'll get through it. While this commercial is playing, I want to recap in this movie how it's a checklist of things to come. And, people might be on my platform or targeted individuals who don't only talk about their targeting, but try to tell you guys about what's going on in society as a whole. Because the directed energy weapons were not just something that they were just doing to us. We were like the lab rats. They were testing this weapons on, right? In different levels that they have been testing this stuff on. Oh, hold on. We're back. Hold on for a minute.
They just issued a tornado warning in Los Angeles.
Breaking news as we prepare to go live to Los Angeles. Mixed reports are coming in. Some extreme weather occurring in the area.
Hold on, I don't want Los Angeles.
It's in the Midwest. The first flight.
So much for 1 in a billion.
All
All right, listen up, everybody. Listen up, please. We've got a lot of work to do, and we don't have much time, so let's get started, please. Borstein.
All our grid models are worth.
Hold on. I'm trying to find you, y'all.
Is he always so obsessive?
Yes.
God, dog it.
The order came too late for two planes that were brought down by severe turbulence in the Midwest. The first flight.
So much for 1 in a billion.
Okay.
All right, listen
I'm gonna
up,
leave it
everybody.
here and see what they
Listen
say.
up, please. We've got a lot of work to do, and we don't have much time, so let's get started, please. Borstein.
All our grid models are worthless.
I don't think grid models are going to be a lot of help here. The Canadians are reporting tremendous circulation moving down from the Arctic. In Siberia, there's a low-pressure system unlike anything we've seen, and Australia just saw the strongest typhoon ever recorded.
Hang on, are you saying that these things are interconnected?
We have to consider the possibility.
The only force strong enough to affect global weather is the sun.
What's NASA have to say?
We've already checked.
Hint, hint.
Solar output is normal.
Hint, hint. Hold on, but this is not what I wanted. Hold
What
on.
about it?
I got a call last night from Professor Rapson at the Headland Center. He thinks the current has changed.
Come on, Jack, how could that be?
The current depends upon a delicate balance of salt and fresh water.
We all know that.
Yes, but no one has taken into account how much fresh water has been dumped into the ocean because of melting polar ice. I think we've hit a critical desalinization point.
It would explain what's driving this extreme weather.
Headland had some pretty convincing data. They've asked me to feed it into my paleoclimate model to track the next set of events.
Hold on, Jack. Are you suggesting these weather anomalies are going to continue?
Not just continue, get worse. I think we're on the verge of a major climate shift.
We are already in a polar shift, guys. We are now in a polar shift.
What are you going to tell the administration?
What do you expect me to tell them?
The government has to start making long-term preparations now.
Jack, all you have is a
I'm gonna let y'all listen to it until I get to.
No.
Hold on.
You have 48 hours.
Professor Hall.
Yes.
I think your theory may be correct.
I wish I knew that the doggone time stamps of this stuff. Oh, right here. So he goes to the president to tell him they got to get up out of there.
The entire northern hemisphere. The ice and snow will reflect sunlight. The Earth's atmosphere will restabilize, but with an average temperature close to that of the last ice age.
Well, what can we do about this?
Head as far south as possible.
Did you hear that? Listen.
Where do you suggest they go?
The farther south they go, the safer they'll be. Texas, parts of Florida that aren't flooded. Mexico would be best.
Mexico, maybe you should stick to science and leave policy to us.
Well, we tried that approach. You didn't want to hear
So-
about the science.
Let's talk about that. You heard him say the further south they go, the best that they will be. The safer that they will be the further south, because the polar shifts are happening. They're going to freeze in the north, okay? So he mentioned Texas. He mentioned Mexico, right? Let me tell you about how wicked our government can be. And not just our government, but governments, because they're all in it together, guys. This is the game for the wicked that run this world right now. And they're only looking out for their self-preservation, okay? So I just mentioned that they're selling real estate off like nothing in European countries, because they already know these countries are going to get colder and colder and colder, okay? But here's how wicked they are. Remember when I did a video about how they're sending, there's so many people of military age coming in from Mexico, and they're coming in across the borders to the United States, right? But in the meantime, in between time, you have um, our president that just, I think he just authorized another $6 billion to Ukraine, right? Um, to help that war. It's a proxy war, right? We're fighting that war, but we're saying we're not in it. We're just sending aid over to Ukraine. But that's in the European nations, right? That is just a wash of money, a wash of the dollar bills, which don't mean anything, but it's just a wash because they're trying to, like squirrels, gather up enough nuts, enough substance to sustain themselves because they're going underground in caves, okay? Um, so while they're having, and whatever they're telling these young people, um, to leave Mexico and come over here, to leave Honduras, to leave even in Japan, and some areas, they're fleeing, guys. And they're coming into the Americas, but certain parts of the Americas are going to be devastated more than others, okay? So all of like the northern regions and coastal lines that I've told you guys. Remember when I told you I had that dream, and the second part of that dream was that wave, okay? That wave that came over, and I didn't know what that wave meant. Guys, the northern region, Pennsylvania, PA, New York, California, all of that is going to get ready to get hit hard, okay? And they have these people, whatever they're telling them, we're going to give you, I mean, they have people in Chicago where they're giving them, and I have nothing against immigrants or people fleeing thinking that they're going to get a better life. But you have to understand, this government is so wicked. I'm so hot, y'all. Excuse me, my forehead shut. It's hot. Um, that, they're setting these people up in Chicago. Because if you hadn't heard about people complaining about, well, black people, known Israel, have been here and you haven't given this aid to black people, so why are you giving this aid to these immigrants? Chicago is going to get hit. Just think like this. All these northern areas, they're going to get hit hard because of this polar shift that people are not really talking about. They're talking that you might hear global or climate change or something along that line, or you might see where they are purposely starting fires and saying that it's the sun or something along that line. This, the people who run this realm, guys, uh, they up they are of their fathers, the authors of confusion, okay? So they want to move certain people out of places that they want to populate later after the devastation has somewhat, dissipated. Okay? So just imagine, how can I make it plain? Uh, how do you say it? Gentrification. You know how they moved all the black people into the inner cities, and um, and then all of the, and I'm using these terms so you can understand. Black folks are, we know they're Israel, right? And how the white people, we know them as Edomites, how they moved to the suburbs, right? And so then now in our day and time, we have this gentrification going on where a lot of whites are moving back into the inner cities, and a lot of blacks can't afford to stay where they've been living for years with slumlords, and can't afford the rent now because they're moving people out of these areas to move other people's in. This is something like what the elites are doing. They are moving people out, offering these young men these jobs that they're putting them in different locations to terrorize Americans. Okay, but they're also losing a part of themselves, a part of their own freedoms in their, because they're leaving the safety of their own land. Because Mexico is going to be prime real estate. It's going to be a warmer climate. And while they have opened the, just come on. Just a few years ago, you had Trump hollering about a wall. Think. Just a few years ago, you had Trump hollering about, let's build a wall. Let's keep them out. And now they're welcoming them in, by the boatloads, by the busloads. Honey, this is the ultimate bait and switch for them as it is for the people who are still asleep. And for the people who may come across these videos of us trying to forewarn you of what is going on and what is taking place, and as for a lot of targeted individuals, that Americans have been used as guinea pigs to test out their energy weapons, their different weapons that they have, um, and also the gang stalkers have been hoodwinked to think that they are part of a system that's going to protect them, and they're not. It's just like the Japanese soldiers, young men that are coming. They're not soldiers now, but they're soldiers because they're sleeper cells that America is welcoming in, right? But the thing is, they're losing a part of their soul. They're losing their selves in this transfer. Okay? America is going to use them to do their devilish work when they declare martial law, and police officers and people realize they're not going to want to shut down or fight against other Americans, but other countrymen from other places have no problem locking up Americans because they have no connection with us. Half of them think that a lot of us are the wickedness that has ruined the world. So, of course, welcome them in from different countries, because those are going to be the soldiers that they're going to use to come haul you off to these new camps, right? But it's the bait and switch, because they're going to lose out just like the gang stalkers are going to lose out. They might be, living their so-called best life, terrorizing you right now. But in the end, they do not win. In the end, this shift that's coming, these people do not win, because the lands and all of that, what they're fleeing from to come here to something that is ruined, something that they're doing on purpose, something that they're destroying on purpose. People can't see that America is not the it place anymore. America is under judgment, okay? And the places that they want are the places that they know, the places that they put in these movies. Check out this movie, okay? The Day After Tomorrow. Move as far south as you can go, because there's a freeze coming. If a power outage comes in the middle of winter, what happens? More deaths occur. So let's think about that, guys, and just be prepared, okay? So I just wanted to come, and talk to you guys about Hawaii. Lana, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that name of the city, where I believe it was a directed energy weapon that took out that area, because of the elites want that area to build up for themselves, guys. And the natives, they want to eliminate them off of that island. They want, because they don't want to hear their mouths. They don't want to hear them protest, you know. So I hope this just gives you something to think about. We are headed into the winter months. I don't know how cold it will get, but we do know that the weather can be manipulated and will be manipulated to their benefit. Um, so just be prepared for what is to come throughout these winter months, what may be natural or what may be man-made. And if you are here visiting my channel for the first time, I hope that you like this channel. I'm giving you information that may sound like sci-fi, but this is the world that you are truly living in. And it is a reality that you will have to wake up and realize that we've been asleep a long time. And things that you thought were the way they should be are not. Okay? I am out, and much, much love.